Hi everyone.
Assalamu alaikum. You're cut off. Come closer to me. I don't bite.
Welcome to the Hajir show. My name is Maya.
And I'm Hajir.
And
today, we sound like the neighborhood.
I know. Today we're going to be talking about the correlation between mental health and violence, in particular domestic violence. Before we get into today's show, I just want to remind everybody, please like, share, and comment, send all your friends so I don't have to do it for you. Please help a sister out.
And she will do it.
And you know I will. So make sure you're following us on all of our social medias: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you can find the Hajir Network. Make sure that you are following so you can get consistent content. YouTube followers, I see y'all out there. Thank you so much for our new followers that are on YouTube, and continue to like, share, and subscribe.
And we're going on Facebook and TikTok today because someone forgot the third phone to go on Instagram. So Instagram, we are going to share this live after we finish. But today is not a happy topic. الليلة الموضوع اللي حنتكلم عنه ما حاجة سعيدة لكن مكررة. We continuously talk about domestic violence. We continuously talk about mental health and the reason for someone to be violent, the reason for people to stay. Today is not Domestic Violence Day, but every day is an awareness of some sort.
Right.
Mental health, and that's another thing. Mental health and domestic violence. Maya wrote here that there is a correlation or a relationship between mental health and domestic violence. So today, the main reason for us to specifically focus on the mental health and domestic violence are 3 incidents just happened this week.
Yeah.
And that's not every incident. There are more. But there are 3 incidents that happened. One just got convicted. A couple days ago, there is a mother who lost her life and lost the 3 kids because of their father. It's a domestic violence disturbance and a crime. Yeah. And he shot all 4 of them. So it was a basically مذبحة, like a death.
Yeah.
4 of them.
Yeah.
He just shot all 4 of them. He is, from the information that we have, he is Palestinian, the father. His wife's name was Majda Qasim, and she was 53 years old. They have 2 twins, Halima and Zahia and Hanan. They live in Chicago, and it's under investigation. He's caught by the police. They came to the scene. He called the police. He had his gun. They confiscated the gun, and he's under arrest now.
Right.
But this is not the point, him being arrested.
Right.
Having a gun, not having someone who is violent, you know, not allowing them to have a gun, first of all. Second, women, and I'm saying women because mainly women end up dead in those kind of situations and crime because of the societies giving the perpetrators, the person who is committing the violence, they get away. Yeah. They are not held accountable or being charged for what they do. That's the first thing from the society. Second things, women seem to listen to their neighbors, everybody around them, telling them to stay. This is something temporary. Right. He just hit you, and then trying to find excuses for the man. What did you do? Right. And we talk about that all the time. You know, us talking about domestic violence, talking about violence, and making sure that people see the sign. We always talk about red flags. بنتكلم عن الإشارات الحمراء. Why you shouldn't stay in a violent relationship regardless. Right. لما نقول أطلعوا من العلاقات اللي فيها تعنيف، العلاقات المسمة, the toxic, violent relationship, you have to get out before you lose your life. And a lot of people think this is, you know, people, you're trying to push people to break their life. What life are we talking about?
Right.
Like, in this case, 25 years old, two twins who are 25 years old, عمرهم 25 سنة. And the third one is 24 years old. One of them is a doctor, and one is a pharmacist. And that doesn't matter who you are or what your job is, but from the people around them, من الناس اللي حولهم, عرفنا إنهم they were very smart. You know, someone who could make a difference in this world. They lost their life to violence. And that is something, if that would not wake us up, this is not the first incident. We talked about Raja before. We had her brother came on a show and talk about how she even filed PFA. She filed protection from abuse, but he still found them and killed her, stabbed her to death. We have another case that Maya's just was discussing with me.
Yeah, we have it actually happened in 2022. Her name was Erie Jenkins. She was a mother of 3. She was pregnant. She was a business owner, and she was a life coach on YouTube and on social media. And she got her husband into fulfilling his dreams of being a barber, and he had paid people to go in and kill her.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't, you know, there was never any incidents where the police were called for domestic violence, but we just talked about this yesterday or day before yesterday about relationships. We have to have to realize who we are associating ourselves with and who we're choosing to be with. Because it might seem all, you know, sunshine and roses, but envy is a strong is a powerful emotion. Envy and jealousy, and just those 2 things alone can cause somebody who we just talked about it, who is a narcissist, right?
Yesterday we were talking about narcissism. اتكلمنا عن النرجسية، واتكلمنا عن الشخص ممكن يكون حقد ولا غيرة أو إحساس بإنه أنت أفضل، يعني المقارنة comparison, comparing themselves and seeing you as a woman, mostly women, when they succeed or getting their life together,
you're considered a threat.
Then you consider a threat. So continue, Maya. Yeah, Wisal. Yeah. So hi Kareem.
Hi Kareem.
كيفكم كلكم. So يعني دي 4 أنفار. 4 people lost their life due to violence. Many more, and that's something I do work on closely. And unfortunately, not just here in the United States as being, you know, American, but even newcomers, Sudanese American, other nationalities, they come and maybe feel like I'm not going to find excuses for someone who's committing violence, but there is a lot of mental health issues. There is a lot of addiction. There is a lot of feeling, like feeling that you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and watching someone who is flourishing, like a husband, especially someone from, like I have so many cases from Sudanese community, and we cannot keep like covering up. We cannot keep hiding, ندخل راسنا في الرملة, hit our head in the sand and expecting, you know, this to just go away. It's not going to go away. I've been talking about this since 2007. I've been a victim of domestic violence myself, and that's why I advocate for this, because I know how hard it is to get out, how hard it is to have the society, you know, approve you standing up for yourself. You don't need their approval. You don't need even your family's approval, because at the end of the day, you're the one going to lose your life. Your kids are going to lose their life. الأم هي اللي حتفقد حياتها. الأطفال حيفقدوا حياتهم. And that's why when I keep telling you, if you feel you're staying for your kids, that's not gonna help. You're not staying for your kids. You are going to lose your life and you're gonna die. So you need to leave for your kids. You need to get out of a toxic relationship. You need to get out of a violent relationship, because if you don't do that, you are going to leave that relationship in a
body bag.
A body bag. And unfortunately, we can't just wait until we see an accident, a crime. We cannot wait until we see someone who is in the hospital. I'm working with so many cases, Sudanese women, and I'm not just saying just different nationality, but even Sudanese women who were shot.
Yeah.
I just worked with someone who was shot. Someone was wrecked the car on them. And they end up in the ICU. Somebody who's, and it doesn't have to get to that point for you to leave.
Right.
And to try to find excuses. So I'm going to keep talking about it. And no matter how much lashes, how much people are going to be upset, I am not here to please someone. We are here because this is a problem. And keep hiding our head is not going to fix it. As a society, and I'll be naming states and naming people. And I mean it, because we can't keep doing this.
Right.
You see someone who's abusing their kids, abusing their wife, you know, and you turn the blind eye. And you consider yourself a part of this society. You consider yourself religious. So before you judge someone on, oh, you need to dress a certain way, or you need to do this, we need to do our part as a society to prevent violence, because it shouldn't bother you what someone believes, what someone is getting, like their clothes, their choices. What should really bother you? Someone threatening someone's life, or hurting them, verbally, emotionally, any kind of hurt. So let's see. See something, say something. And that's not just for this, it's for everything.
Right.
When you see something wrong, this is a part of our job.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's mean we're right, but there's things that it doesn't require thought.
Right.
When you see someone is hurting, beating a woman or even a man, verbally assaulting them, and you can hear and you know, and you said, oh, this is their business. It is not their business. Guys, I've been telling you this since 2008. If you cross that line between your right and somebody else's right, then it becomes our responsibility.
Right.
Call the police. And I know a lot of people were mad at women who called the police or file for protection from abuse, or even contact the domestic violence. The society is making them feel ashamed. Instead of making the person who is hurting them responsible, they make them responsible. Those women, when they contacted me, the husband's friends will start targeting them, telling them, you threw him in jail. That's where he belongs. If you hurt someone, you truly belong in jail. So we need to stop covering for your husband. You need to stop covering for your friend. You need to stop covering for someone in the society, in your community. If you truly care about the community, you're going to make sure you weed out the bad ones. Your surrounding does matter. Your surrounding matters. If you put one bad apple, one bad fruit on top of other fruits, is going to make it all rotten. If you don't take that and throw it out, it's going to affect the whole society, and we're going to lose more lives. يا مزمل، أنا بتكلم عن الحاجة دي هسع بالضبط من 2008. بتكلم عن موضوع العنف الأسري. بتكلم عن I'm gonna talk in Arabic for a little bit, so bear with me. يعني أنا بتكلم عن المجتمع بتاعنا بالذات. في حالات كثيرة جدا جدا، وكلهم بيحاولوا إنه يغطوا عنا. من انه ما حاصله. الكلام ده ما بيحصل عندنا في مجتمعنا، ولا دي حاجات عادات غريبه. ابدا، دي ما حاجات غريبه ولا عادات غريبه. العنف ده موجود جوا السودان وبرا السودان، وللاسف جزء كبير من الرجال بيجوا للمجتمع ده بافتراضات انه ممكن to get away with it، انه ما حيحصل لهم اي عقوبه، انه ممكن يعملوا نفس الممارسات اللي كانوا بيعملوها في السودان ولا في اي دوله ثانيه، يجوا هنا ويمدوا ايدهم على زوجتهم، يضربون رصاص، يقتلون، والناس تدعمهم. انا بعرف كميه من الرجال الكوميونتي دفعت لهم البيل money. The community put money to get that criminal out of jail, paid his bail. The community دفعت قروش عشان تطلعه. The community did not stand up for the woman or the kids. So and يا حنان, yes, it's been happening, حنونة, over and over and over, and it's not, this is not the one case. I had so many people guest on the show. أنا استضفت نساء كتار هم كانوا ضحايا. استضفت أسر نساء ماتوا وفقدوا حياتهم بسبب العنف الأسري. ولسه نحن بنتكلم في نفس الموضوع، ولسه في مجتمعات هسه كلكم all of you, you probably know someone in your community. You know your neighbor, your friend, you know someone who's like, oh, this is such and such. He's like that. He have anger issue. So most perpetrators, they don't do that in front of you. But if they got bold enough to act like that in front of you, guess what? What they doing behind the closed doors is way worse, more than what you see. Because no one will beat someone in front of you unless they're comfortable enough that you are not going to report them and they're not going to face consequences. So, yes, Hannuna, enough is enough. So Karim is saying, كيف لي أنا كأب أحمي أسرتي من العنف الأسري؟ تهديد خطير ضد الكثير من النساء. ينبغي معرفة علامات العلاقة المسيئة وكيف الابتعاد عن المواقف الخطيرة. دي اسمها الإشارات الحمراء. Karim was saying we need to know the signs. This is part of what we do every Tuesday.
Right.
We talk about signs. بنتكلم عن العلامات والإشارات الحمراء. لما نتكلم عن التوعية دي ما بس للنساء. It's not just for women, but we raise awareness for men too, and we need more men to be involved. محتاجين رجال يتكلموا مع وعن القضية دي. ما بس الكلام يكون من النساء. It doesn't need to be just women talking about this matter, because it affects men and women equally, but it doesn't affect men as much as affect women. And mostly when a woman get involved and stay in an abusive relationship, they end up losing their life. They end up losing so much, their self-confidence, a lot. So we do talk about the science. We discuss the red flags, and we give people suggestion on what to do when you see those red flags. Stop collecting red flags. نجيف من إننا نلم الإشارات الحمراء دي. Once you see it, you know it, you get out.
Yeah.
Not just for you. And you report it. Reporting, holding the person accountable is more important than just leaving. Because when you leave and you don't say anything and the society doesn't do anything, this person is going to repeat the same offense with someone else.
Right.
So guess what? You're safe, you left. Some other woman will be in your place and she might not be lucky.
Right.
She will end up in a bag, leaving the house in a bag. So Hannuna said, please talk about why this kind of aggression is harmful for the kids, and being silent could cause you as a woman to lose your beloved kids. Hannuna, we said this yesterday. We talked about narcissism, النرجسية, وتكلمنا عن إنه في أمهات كتار بيقعدوا, a lot of women, I'm going to say it in Arabic and English, so bear with me. A lot of women, نساء كثيرات, بيقعدوا في علاقات مسمة. They stay in a toxic relationship because they think this is helping their kids.
Yeah.
بيقعدوا في علاقات مسمة لأنهم بيفتكروا إنه الحاجة دي حتساعد أطفالهم. بيسمعوا كلام أهلهم وكلام المجتمع إنه أقعدي عشان أطفالك. Stay for your kids. They give in to the societal pressure. Staying for your kids. You need to leave for your kids. Anytime you see me, you're gonna hear this. I've been saying it over and over. You don't stay for your kids. You leave for your kids. تطلعوا من العلاقات المسمة دي عشان أطفالكم ما يشوفوا. Because your kids, they're gonna see and normalize the violence. أطفالك حيعيشوا في حياة بتاعت عنف. حيفتكروا إنه this is the normal way. حيفتكروا إنه ده الحاجة الطبيعية. Normal. They are going to stay and think this is how relationships supposed to be. You are raising your kids to know that abuse is normal.
Right.
To know that they can take abuse and stay in an abusive relationship and just take it. We have a lot of songs and I talked about that. في أغاني يعني أغاني سودانية كثيرة, Sudanese songs. It say لوك القردة وقعدي, in that meaning, right? أقعدوا في العلاقات راجل السترة ضل راجل ولا ضل حيطة. This all is like examples from Sudan. Is saying that I much rather stay in like the man's shadow. It's like man's shadows is better than the wall shadow. So that's, I mean, I'm just like, yeah. And then there is al-garada is like a nabat. It's a plant that is very sour. It's like you can't eat it, you can't taste it or suck on it, right? So it's like they compare the worst situation that you're in to al-garada. Al-garada is like that plant, and they asking women to suck that, like basically accept it, deal with it.
You know, I also want to say, like, there's a big difference between, like, you know, most religions or most countries, they talk about submission, okay? But there's a big difference between being submissive and being a victim of domestic violence. There should be no part of your relationship where you allow someone to verbally, physically, emotionally abuse you.
Yeah.
And that's regardless of your faith, color, creed, where you at, it doesn't matter. But I feel like some people say, well, you weren't submissive. This is why he hit you, or this is why this happened to you. But there's a big line. And
that's not a healthy relationship.
Right.
So when we talk about relationship, yesterday we talk about narcissism and narcissism. A day before yesterday, when we talk about relationship, we talk about the relationship you have to have respect.
Yeah.
You have to give respect to receive respect. You have to keep that line between being both of you, like allowing that small, like, you know, gray area where, you know, you might be right, I might be wrong, you know, just discussing.
And we work
There
it
is
out.
a difference between working it out and having a conversation, and people are going to fight.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to be the same as that person. You are going to have differences. You are going to have issues that will arise. But how you handle those issues, how you deal with them, it differentiates you between you and somebody else.
Right.
Having a healthy relationship. The day before yesterday, we talked about healthy relationship. That's why I'm saying when all our lives, they're all fit together. It didn't happen by accident.
Right.
Like we formulated, when we talk about autism, when we talk about mental health, it all filled together.
Right.
When we talk about violence, you know, people accept because the way they're raised. Wisal asked a question that is it possible that domestic violence is learned behavior?
Absolutely.
Absolutely وصال. And that's why العنف الزول المعنف شاف التعنيف ده حصل له في حياته. So whoever, part of it, not everyone, but most of the violent behavior happened because it's a learned behavior. You lived in a house that your mom was being abused or your dad was being abused. You were abused. So you repeat that cycle. That's why يا وصال we say it's a cycle. حلقة شريرة. It's a cycle where and
it's a new day.
I don't know why
It's a new life.
somebody will call me.
Where'd it go?
Just click on that.
Sorry, Facebook.
Sorry. So I don't know if we're still on TikTok or not, but when someone is I lost my train of thought, but with the learning behavior, that's why leaving the abusive relationship is the main reason for you, not just for your survival, but for your kids' sake.
Yeah.
Because when they see you living in a violence and accepting that, they're going to think it's okay, it's normal. So you're raising, as a woman, you are raising your daughter to accept violence.
Right.
And you're raising your son to do the violence.
Right.
And vice versa. If the father was the one receiving the abuse, he is teaching his son to accept the abuse. And you're teaching your daughter to be abusive.
Right. All behavior is learned behavior.
Yep. There
seen
is
it,
some
they've been
genetics. There is some genetics component, and there are people who are actually violent because of being mentally having some mental issues, mental disorders. Some are violent because of trait, genetic traits. Some are violent because due to drugs or you know, alcohol or any kind of substance that is affecting their mental capability and their ability to behave normally. But that's never an excuse. It's never going to be okay. If being addicted to something, whether it's alcohol or drugs or any kind of substance, making you act a certain way, then you drop what you're taking.
Say it again.
If you're drinking, because that's something I was hearing when I was going through my domestic violence. Oh, he's just drinking. He's doing this because he's drinking. Then you know what? Stop drinking.
Right.
If you cannot handle the alcohol, don't do it. And if you're acting simple, don't do it. That's it. Like, I don't need to be, this is common sense. We do not need to be saying it. And for women to accept and hear this, to be victimized again. I was victimized more than once. You are victim for being in an abusive relationship, dealing with an abuser, and then being victimized with the society telling you you should suck it up and stay in that relationship. You know, you should find excuses. So instead of you finding excuses for the perpetrator, find ways to help the victims. And it is a learned behavior. It is something that needs to be addressed. If you have problem with substance abuse, they are rehab. There are places that you can go get some help. If you're someone who has anger issue, there are therapy for anger management. There are classes. If you cannot do all of that, there is jail. And I'm going to say it again. Do not hesitate to call 911. Do not hesitate to report this behavior. Do not hesitate to take them and hold them accountable. If you see the woman cannot do it, you pick up that phone call and call 911 and get them help. Because the next call will not be for help. And it will be for emergency to take them to the morgue. Out in a bag.
And don't let life circumstances make you feel like you can't do anything about it because you don't have enough money, you don't have family, you don't have people who would support you, there are organizations out there that will house you and your children and help you get on your feet. So if you are watching this and you're in a domestic violence situation, please reach out.
Yeah.
There are, you know, if you need help finding it, you know, you can just drop it in the comments and we'll follow up with you. Like, don't let your life, there's nothing in life.
There is a lot of resources, and trust me, I will be homeless before I take abuse.
Yeah.
And I know it's not easy. I never ever in my life and my lives, the shows that I've been doing since 2008, and never ever said to any woman that it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
But it's going to be worth it. Because the second option is you losing your life, and your kids are going to be without a mother, and you're leaving them with an abuser.
Or in this case,
and the same thing he did to you is going to be done to them. Or in this case, all of you are going to live in a bag. Yeah. And like Hannuna said, they're all over 20 years old. You know, part of this society, someone could be something. And even if they're not something, even if they're just sitting there doing nothing, no one has the right to take someone else's life. Right. And no one has the right to lay hands on you. No one has the right to abuse you verbally, emotionally, economically, you know, sexually. There is so many ways that people get abused. Right. And no one has that right.
And that's why your mental health is important. If you are in these situations, we've talked about coping mechanisms, but your first priority above is safety.
Always, when you see me, see Maya, remember Maslow's hierarchy of need. You have to have your safety. You have to have your basic needs met to get to that self-actualization. Right. So this is the top priority, to be safe. There is ways for you to be safe. And part of this is having, you know, depressed PTSDs.
Yeah.
This is all work together, like having a mental health, like your mental health matter. You have that balance. And when you don't have that, you're sitting in a toxic relationship. You need to get out and ask for help.
And we've even seen in cases where women are being abused and they stay in those relationships and they end up harming their children. Because they, I don't know if you guys remember, there was actually a case here in Pennsylvania of a mother who drowned her 3 kids.
Yeah.
You know, so your mental balance, balance is so important, because I want you to see like this. You won't do something for yourself, but you're bottling it all in, and then it explodes, and then that can affect your children. Yeah. You know, so you have to make sure that you're thinking and you're holding yourself accountable. You're
human. So there is so much that you can take before you break. You snap. بيقولوا عندنا مثل بيقول الغشة التي قسمت ظهر البعير. You know? she's looking at me like, yup. الغشة التي قسمت ظهر البعير. شفتي قشة؟ The small, like grass-like, you know, material. You put it on the top of the camel, and it break its back, not because of the weight of it, like a feather, light like a feather, but that camel had a lot of baggage, a lot of, did I say it right?
Baggage.
Yep. Have a lot of baggages, and then the last straw
just broke the camel.
You just put it on top of it and poop, break it. So that's human nature. You are going to break and تحصل القشة التي قسمت ظهر البعير. Break. And you either hurt yourself, or people commit suicide. People kill their children. They're stressed because of that. So your mental health balance, part of it. Yeah. Today's mental health message, you have to take care of yourself. Yeah. If you're in an abusive relationship, get out. Yes. Get out. You know, don't wait until you die. And you know the sign. Yeah. You know who you're dealing with. I don't need to tell you, Maya, don't need to tell you, because we don't know your circumstances. Right. But what we would tell you, you know. And when you fear for your life, that's the time when you need to get out. Right. And Moni, I am so glad you're safe, Moni. She said the best I did that I left my abusive ex-husband and I took the full responsibility of my kids. I don't want my kids to grow in toxic environment. I saved myself and my kids. I didn't look behind at all. And that's the key.
Yeah.
You know, you are saving your kids, saving yourself.
Yeah.
And don't look back. Remember one of the lives I said, once you turn that page,
Yep.
once you turn that page, don't go back to it.
Yeah. It was actually in our video this morning. If you walk out of the door, you walk away from somebody. What did she say in her video this morning? Hammer it, lock it, nail it shut.
Yep.
Don't reopen it.
Yeah.
Don't allow yourself to put yourself back in the same situation that got you into into these circumstances that you're in right now.
And Hanuna said, you know, our religion talk about being kind with women in general, and that's true. Like there is no part of any religion that is telling you to do this. That's why there is divorce. People say, oh, divorce is not in my religion. Well, divorce is not frowned upon in any religious. So I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah, it's actually in the Bible.
It's in the Bible, it's in the Quran. It's in the Quran, it's in the Bible. You know, this is, it's ma muhabbab, mush. It's not like, you know, something that's celebrated in any religion. But if you have to, you need to be out.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. Save yourself and save your family and your kids.
And if you're in a religion that is telling you that you have to stay in a relationship and continue to get abused, I want you to drop it in the comments and we need to have a conversation. Because there's never, like Hajir just said, a religion is going to say, beat your wife if she's not listening.
No, there is not the thing.
I know it's harsh, everybody. I know we're really spitting out some harsh words, but it's that serious. We can't sugarcoat it or give it to you nicely and with a bow. It has to be real and straight to the point.
Yep. A lot of people, Moni said many women, they're afraid of the divorcee title. So they stay in a toxic relationship and they accept the hurt, the disrespect, all of that. And Moni, we did talk about this in one of the lives. And, you know, I hope you guys really, truly watch us because we don't just talk about one issue.
Right.
It's all fit together.
Right.
Part of it is the stigma. And that's why we raise awareness. That's why we talk about this. بنتكلم عن المواضيع دي عشان نحاول نغير المجتمع وفهمه والاستجمة يعني الوصمة وصمة العار اللي بتتخطى للزولة المنفصلة اللي بتتخطى للزولة المطلقة اللي بتتخطى للزولة مش اتبلغت أو طلعت من علاقة مضرة. What I just said in Arabic, I'm going to repeat in English. You know, women are facing stigma from the society, from the community. When you leave an abusive relationship, when you report the abusive relationship, when you divorce, when you separate, you know, you are the one receiving the abuse and still you're the one to be blamed for reporting it, for acting and for defending yourself. Like, tell me, make this make sense. Make this make sense. يعني فهموني إنه كيف دي ممكن تكون حاجة مقبولة من المجتمع. How are we still talking about the societal acceptance of a divorcee, of a divorced woman? Why are we still talking about how we give a damn? I don't give a damn, and I hope you don't give a damn about what everybody is thinking about you when it comes to your safety. You are not the one going to be buried 6 under.
Right.
The one facing the domestic violence is the one going to be buried. And your kids are going to be raised without a mom or a dad. So Wisal said, I know a person who was suffering from domestic violence, but he did not display this behavior with his wife and children, but rather treated them with kindness and love. I hope every person will be like him to reduce this violence. And truly, Wisal, when we said it's a learned behavior, and when we said it is genetic, not everyone is going to follow that. a lot of people will break that cycle.
Right.
So there you have a choice. When someone يقول أنا ما عندي خيار كان. I don't have a choice. You know, I grew up in a violent situation. Yes, sorry that you grew up in a violent situation, but you always have a choice.
Yeah, my dad always used to say, don't become a product of your environment.
Do not become a product of your environment.
Yeah.
ما تبقوا انتوا نتيجة من البيئة اللي حولكم. Environment, your بيئة. انت ما تبقى product. Don't be a result. Don't be نتيجة. You can make the difference, right?
Yeah, like we all free moral agents. So we can decide what we do with ourselves, with our bodies, how we talk to people, how we treat people. We choose that ourselves. But don't let what you've grown up with, what you've seen, turn you into something else that you don't want to be.
And ya Hannuna, that's why we want more people to talk about the relationship, about religious. Like a lot of people give Islam a bad name. Truly. في ناس كثيرين بيشوهوا الصورة بتاعت الإسلام، بيشوهوا الصورة بتاعت الأديان. يعني بيخلوا الناس بتعاين للإسلام على أساس إنه هو يعني فيه عنف لأنه شايفينك بتعنف، فيه تقبل لممارسات سيئة لأنه شايفيننا نحن كمجتمع بنتقبل، ولأنه بنحاول نوجد مبررات بالدين. What I just said in Arabic, I'm gonna say it to Maya in English. A lot of people give a bad reputation to Islam. A lot of people give bad reputation. A lot of Muslims give bad reputation to Islam because the way they're acting or the way they're accepting this treatment and trying to find excuses for someone and saying, oh, religious said you can do that. Nope. Right. No God said that. Right. Allah did not say that.
Right.
God did not say that. The book did not say that. The Quran did not say that. Translation. Sick people translated this to make it sound as it's acceptable. So when we say we need more people, I don't talk about religion. This is like a topic that I'm not فقيهة فيه عشان أتكلم عن الدين, و I'm not in a place to tell people what to do and what not to do. But when you see someone is using giving Islam bad name, stop them. Same with Christianity, you know, same with Judaism, same with any religious. Yep. So when you see someone is finding an excuse for their action due to religion or culture, culture can change. There is no religion. If you have a religion that is telling you to do so, drop it here and tell me what religion is that, because that's not a good religion. And I'm telling you, Islam did not say that. الإسلام بريء جدا من الكلام اللي بيقول فيه والزول ده trying to find excuses. إنه this is his way of punishing, making their kids, you know, that's not okay, not acceptable.
Right.
So don't get there. So Hannuna, we need to do more talking about the relation and what religious is saying. Yes, blaming the victim. Whoever said ممكن تترجموا لنا، أنا قاعدة أترجم. I am saying it, translating it. I'm saying it in Arabic and English at the same time. Maybe you just heard me when I was talking in English, but I was saying it in Arabic too. Yeah, there are so many. الطيب الصوت قطع. I'm sorry. So anyways, before we end this, as always, the topics are not just one topic. When we talk about mental health, the most important part of your mental health is being in a healthy relationship. Yeah. You know, taking care of yourself first. And that is not being selfish. Do not allow other people to dictate how you make your decisions. Yeah. They are not part of this. When you give people that, you know, what you call it, power, when you give those people power on dictating how you should live your life, you are giving them all the power. Right. You cannot be in a relationship, you cannot be in and you cannot see it. And the mental health is not just for you.
Right.
But if you see something, you say something. So I am good. I hope you guys go back and listen to what we said. And Maya, you have anything else to add?
I just want to remind everybody that your choices and, you know, how what you allow other people, you teach people how to treat you.
Yep.
If you continue to allow it to happen without standing up, you're saying that this is okay.
بتعلموا الناس يعاملوكم كيف. You teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. And you need to start teaching people how to treat you right.
Exactly.
Because if you do not do that, no one else will.
Yeah. If you can't love yourself enough, nobody else will.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
thank you everybody for watching. We had 5 key points. I'm going to make sure that I post it on the Facebook page.
Thank you for saying and share it. Yes, they said that everyone should watch this video. So please make it happen. Share it. And we do this truly so the point can get across.
Yeah.
So feel free to tag people, to invite people to follow, share the video, and most importantly, use what you learn and hear to change your life, to change somebody else's life, to be that voice, you know, to amplify their voices, to make sure that you be the change. This is actually the slogan of the Hajir Network. Like, this is my slogan since I started. Be the change that you want to see in the world, because this is not just me. It is not just Maya. It is not just the ones listening to me, but it's all of our jobs. This is our duty. ده واجبنا اللي بنعمله. نوعي أن نحاول نعمل اللي بنقدر عليه عشان الجرائم دي ما تحصل. So we can end this and break this cycle. So that's it, Maya. Do you have anything else to add?
Nope. Thank you guys
If
for
we're
watching.
good, tomorrow we will be on our normal schedule, 1:30.
Yes.
But again, نحن زماننا معاكم الساعة 1:30. لكن لو حصل تغيير حنوريكم. So if we have a conflict in our schedule, we will let you know. We will go live every day, Monday through Friday. But if the time is different between 1:30 and we go early, we will let you know. So stay with us. Make sure that you follow. And we're watching you. Make sure you follow. Invite all your friends.
Yes.
And if you don't know how, Maya and Iman did a video, one in Arabic, one in English, to show you how you can follow, invite everyone, and share. And please, please be the change that you want to see in this world. And goodbye.
Bye, guys. See you
We're gonna
tomorrow.
have to get up and
we're gonna look weird right
we're
now.
gonna be like,
But just accept it, okay? Because we ain't got remote
Maya,
control to
don't
this.
look weird.
Hang up. I will once I get really close.
Give me this and you
Bye.
get close. Bye.